In today's rapidly evolving world where technology, societal shifts, and personal challenges often seem to accelerate faster than we can keep up, the ancient wisdom of Buddhism provides a timeless framework for navigating the complexities of modern life. Though Buddhism originated over 2,500 years ago, its teachings have continued to resonate with people across the globe, offering profound insights into the nature of the human experience and practical guidance for overcoming the suffering that is an inherent part of life. Buddhism transcends religious boundaries, offering not just a spiritual path, but a philosophy and way of life. Its wisdom reaches far beyond the confines of ritual or tradition, inviting individuals from all walks of life to reflect on the nature of existence, the impermanence of all things, and the interconnectedness of all beings. Through these teachings, we are encouraged to approach life with mindfulness, compassion, and an open heart, cultivating a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. At the core of Buddhist thought are universal truths that are as relevant today as they were when the Buddha first shared them with his followers. Themes like joy, suffering, loss, and renewal are explored in ways that speak directly to our human condition, offering insights that resonate deeply with people from all cultures and backgrounds. Buddhism teaches that suffering is an inevitable part of life, but also shows us that it is possible to transcend that suffering through mindfulness, compassion, and the cultivation of wisdom. By integrating these teachings into our daily lives, we can develop resilience, manage personal challenges, and experience true inner peace. Through the practices of meditation, mindful living, and self-reflection, Buddhism offers a pathway to engage with life in a more meaningful way. It helps us build balance, cultivate fulfillment, and create deeper connections with ourselves and others. These practices are not just theoretical concepts. They are practical tools that can be applied to daily life, offering guidance for transforming our experiences and nurturing harmony in the world around us. The following points delve into key principles of Buddhist wisdom and illustrate how they can positively impact your life, helping to turn each day into an opportunity for growth, peace, and purpose. By embracing these timeless teachings, we open ourselves to the possibility of living a life filled with compassion, understanding, and a deep sense of connection to the world. Number 1. Embrace forgiveness. In Buddhism, forgiveness is viewed as an essential practice for releasing the grip of anger, resentment, and bitterness that can bind us to suffering. Unlike conventional notions of forgiveness, which often center on absolving others, Buddhist forgiveness emphasizes the liberation of oneself from the emotional weight of negative feelings. The core of this teaching lies in understanding that holding on to grudges and anger only perpetuates our own pain and prevents us from experiencing true peace. To truly forgive, one must cultivate a deep sense of compassion and mindfulness, recognizing that all beings are interconnected and prone to suffering. The practice of forgiveness in Buddhism is closely linked to mindfulness, the ability to be fully present with our emotions without becoming consumed by them. Through mindfulness, we learn to observe our anger or hurt with awareness, without judgment or attachment. This process allows us to create space between our emotions and our reactions, offering the opportunity for transformation. Meditation practices, such as loving-kindness meditation, metta, further deepen this ability. Metta encourages us to wish well for ourselves and others, starting with those we feel neutral about and gradually expanding to include even those we find challenging. Over time, this practice softens the heart and helps dissolve the barriers of resentment and hostility, replacing them with a sense of goodwill and understanding. The benefits of embracing forgiveness are profound. On a personal level, it leads to enhanced inner peace, as we free ourselves from the turmoil caused by unresolved anger and bitterness. By letting go of grudges, we create space for healing and emotional balance. This transformation is not limited to our own hearts. It extends to our relationships with others. Forgiveness fosters deeper understanding and compassion, paving the way for healthier, more harmonious connections. In situations where conflict or misunderstanding has occurred, the act of forgiveness can be a powerful tool for reconciliation, allowing both parties to move forward with greater empathy and mutual respect. Ultimately, Forgiveness in Buddhism is not just a gift we give to others, but a profound act of self-liberation. It frees us from the cycle of suffering and allows us to experience life with a sense of peace and openness. By cultivating forgiveness through mindfulness and loving kindness, we open ourselves to the transformative power of compassion, creating a more peaceful and connected world for ourselves and those around us. Number 2, live with intention. In Buddhism, living with intention is seen as a path to aligning one's actions with deeply held values, ensuring that life is lived with purpose and meaning. This practice encourages individuals to examine their actions and motivations, ensuring that each decision and action is driven by wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness, rather than by habit or unconscious reactions. The core idea of living with intention is rooted in the understanding that our actions, no matter how small, have the potential to shape not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. By consciously choosing how we act in each moment, we bring greater awareness to our behavior and its impact on the world. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in this practice. Through mindfulness, we develop the ability to pause and reflect before reacting, allowing us to respond with intention rather than impulse. This moment of awareness provides the space needed to check whether our actions align with our core values. For example, if kindness and compassion are central to our values, mindfulness helps us recognize when we might be acting out of impatience or frustration, giving us the opportunity to adjust and act in a way that reflects our true intentions. Reflection is another important practice in living with intention. Taking time to reflect on our actions, both daily and long-term, helps us understand whether we are living in alignment with our values. It encourages self-awareness and growth, guiding us toward greater authenticity. Regular reflection allows us to examine the motivations behind our actions and to adjust our course when necessary, ensuring that we remain true to the principles that guide our lives. The benefits of living with intention are profound and far-reaching. On a personal level, it leads to a more meaningful and authentic life. When we act in harmony with our values, we experience a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose, knowing that our actions are aligned with our true selves. This sense of authenticity brings inner peace and reduces feelings of confusion or dissatisfaction, as we no longer feel torn between our desires and our deeper aspirations. Beyond the individual, living with intention has the power to positively impact society. When we cultivate mindfulness and act with compassion, kindness, and wisdom, we contribute to creating a more peaceful, empathetic, and harmonious world. Our intentional actions can inspire others to reflect on their own behavior, creating a ripple effect that fosters greater collective well-being. By living with intention, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to the greater good, helping to build a world that reflects the values of love, understanding, and interconnectedness. Ultimately, living with intention is about more than just being mindful of our actions. It is about consciously choosing to lead a life that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. By doing so, we cultivate a sense of purpose and direction, bringing greater meaning and fulfillment into our lives and the lives of those we encounter. Number 3, cultivate generosity. In Buddhism, cultivating generosity, known as dana, is viewed as a powerful practice for reducing attachment, promoting selflessness, and fostering deeper connections with others. At its core, generosity is not just about giving material goods, but about offering something of value, be it time, resources, or knowledge, without the expectation of receiving anything in return. This act of giving, when practiced mindfully, becomes a transformative force that helps loosen the grip of attachment and selfishness, leading to greater inner peace and interconnectedness. Generosity in Buddhism is deeply tied to the principle of impermanence. By giving without attachment, we acknowledge the transient nature of material possessions and desires, recognizing that true fulfillment does not come from accumulating wealth or resources, but from the joy of sharing and helping others. In this way, generosity becomes a way of cultivating freedom from the desire to possess, while fostering a spirit of giving that is rooted in compassion and wisdom. It is an expression of the interconnectedness of all beings, understanding that by supporting others, we are contributing to the well-being of the whole. One of the key practices for cultivating generosity is the mindful giving of time, energy, and resources. This can manifest in many forms, whether through donating money to a cause, offering our time to help those in need, or sharing our knowledge and skills with others. The essential element is the intention behind the act. Generosity is most powerful when it is given freely, without expecting any form of compensation or recognition. It is an act of pure kindness, with no strings attached. Practicing mindfulness in giving helps ensure that the act is done with an open heart, free from any attachment to outcomes or rewards. The benefits of cultivating generosity are profound and far-reaching. On a personal level, generosity strengthens relationships by creating bonds of trust and goodwill. When we give selflessly, we not only bring joy to others, but we also receive the deep satisfaction that comes from knowing we have made a positive impact. Generosity nurtures feelings of gratitude. As we begin to recognize how interconnected we are with others and how fortunate we are to be able to give, this sense of gratitude, in turn, enriches our own lives and enhances our overall sense of well-being. Beyond the individual, generosity contributes to the creation of a more compassionate and harmonious world. When we give selflessly, we inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that promotes kindness and empathy. Generosity also nurtures inner peace, as it shifts the focus away from the ego and the desire for personal gain. By practicing dana, we cultivate a heart that is open and free from attachment, allowing us to live more fully in the present moment and experience greater joy and fulfillment. Ultimately, cultivating generosity is about more than just giving. It is about developing a mindset that values selflessness and interconnectedness. Through mindful giving, we learn to let go of attachment and focus on the well-being of others, contributing to the creation of a world that is filled with compassion, kindness, and peace. By making generosity a central practice in our lives, we not only enrich the lives of others, but also nourish our own hearts, bringing us closer to the true happiness that comes from giving without expectation. Number 4, engage in self-reflection. In Buddhism, engaging in self-reflection is seen as an essential practice for gaining insight into one's thoughts, actions, and motivations. By looking inward and examining the patterns that shape our behavior, we can develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Self-reflection is not about judging or criticizing oneself, but rather about cultivating awareness and wisdom. It is a process of inquiry that allows us to recognize the underlying causes of our emotions, thoughts, and actions, enabling us to break free from automatic responses and make more conscious, thoughtful choices. At the heart of self-reflection in Buddhism is mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and aware in each moment. Through mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming attached to them or swept away by them. By noticing our reactions and habits with compassion and curiosity, we can begin to understand why we respond the way we do in different situations. This awareness opens the door to change, as we can see clearly the areas where we may be acting out of habit or conditioned patterns rather than conscious intention. Another powerful tool for self-reflection is journaling. Writing down our thoughts, feelings, and experiences can help uncover deep-seated patterns in our behavior and thinking. Through regular journaling, we gain clarity about our desires, fears, and aspirations, which allows us to make better sense of our actions and motivations. It is a way of externalizing our internal world, creating a space for contemplation and growth. Journaling also helps track our progress over time, offering insights into how we have changed and where we might still need to grow. The benefits of engaging in self-reflection are significant. First and foremost, it increases self-awareness, allowing us to see ourselves more clearly and understand why we act the way we do. This heightened awareness fosters personal growth by enabling us to recognize patterns of thought and behavior that may no longer serve us. With this understanding, we can make more informed decisions, act with greater intentionality, and begin to cultivate positive habits that support our well-being. Self-reflection also plays a crucial role in reducing suffering. Much of our pain and discomfort arises from unconscious patterns, reactions that are driven by past experiences, fears, or unexamined beliefs. By reflecting on these patterns, we can begin to break free from the cycle of suffering and cultivate more skillful ways of responding to challenges. As we understand the roots of our suffering, we can practice letting go of attachments, expectations, and judgments, creating space for peace and equanimity to emerge. Furthermore, self-reflection enhances decision-making by helping us align our choices with our deeper values and intentions. When we take the time to reflect on our actions and motivations, we can make decisions that are more thoughtful, wise, and aligned with our goals, rather than being driven by unconscious impulses or external pressures. This leads to a life that is more authentic and congruent with who we truly are. Ultimately, engaging in self-reflection is a practice of self-discovery and transformation. It is about looking inward with honesty and compassion, uncovering the patterns that shape our lives, and making conscious choices that lead to greater peace, wisdom, and freedom. Through mindfulness and journaling, we cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves, reduce unnecessary suffering, and foster personal growth that leads to a more intentional, fulfilling, and meaningful life. Number 5, foster equanimity. In Buddhism, fostering equanimity is regarded as a crucial practice for maintaining emotional balance and composure in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. Equanimity, or upekkha, is the ability to remain calm, steady, and undisturbed by the fluctuations of joy and sorrow, success and failure, or praise and criticism. It is not about suppressing emotions, but about cultivating a mindset that allows us to experience all emotions fully without becoming overwhelmed by them or reacting impulsively. By fostering equanimity, we develop the ability to respond to life's challenges with clarity, wisdom, and inner peace. The practice of mindfulness is foundational in developing equanimity. Through mindfulness, we become more aware of our emotional responses in real time, allowing us to notice when we are becoming upset, frustrated, or overwhelmed. Rather than reacting immediately, mindfulness creates a space between stimulus and response, giving us the opportunity to choose how we want to respond. This awareness helps us avoid getting swept away by our emotions and enables us to maintain a sense of inner calm, even in difficult situations. Over time, mindfulness strengthens our ability to remain grounded and focused, regardless of external circumstances. Another key practice for fostering equanimity is vipassana meditation, a form of insight meditation that helps cultivate a deep understanding of the impermanent and interconnected nature of all phenomena. Vipassana meditation encourages us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations without attachment or aversion. By watching these mental and physical processes arise and pass away, we come to realize that everything, whether pleasurable or painful, is transient. This insight allows us to release the need to cling to pleasure or resist pain, fostering a sense of emotional balance. As we deepen our meditation practice, we develop the capacity to remain equanimous in the face of both external challenges and internal turmoil. The benefits of fostering equanimity are vast and transformative. On a personal level, equanimity promotes inner peace by helping us navigate the unpredictable nature of life with greater ease and acceptance. Instead of being tossed around by the ups and downs of emotions, we develop a steady, unwavering center that remains calm no matter what is happening around us. This sense of peace leads to less emotional turmoil and a greater sense of well-being. Equanimity also improves our relationships with others. When we are able to maintain composure and avoid reactive behavior, we are better able to respond to others with kindness, understanding, and patience. Our relationships become less influenced by emotional triggers and more grounded in empathy and mutual respect. This emotional stability creates a more harmonious environment, fostering stronger and more positive connections with those around us. Furthermore, fostering equanimity builds resilience. Life is full of challenges, but when we develop the ability to remain steady in the face of adversity, we become more resilient in overcoming difficulties. Instead of being defeated by hardship or setbacks, we are able to face them with equanimity, recognizing that they are part of the ebb and flow of life. This resilience allows us to adapt more easily to change and recover more quickly from adversity, fostering a sense of empowerment and strength. Ultimately, fostering equanimity is about cultivating a mindset of balance and acceptance, allowing us to navigate the challenges of life with grace and wisdom. Through practices like mindfulness and vipassana meditation, we develop the ability to remain calm, composed, and centered, regardless of what life presents. This inner peace not only enhances our own well-being, but also strengthens our relationships and builds resilience, enabling us to face the inevitable ups and downs of life with greater clarity and equanimity. Number 6, cultivate patience. In Buddhism, cultivating patience is considered a vital practice for fostering peace, resilience, and emotional stability. Patience, or kshanti, is not a passive state of simply waiting, but an active form of endurance, an inner strength that allows us to meet life's challenges with calmness and composure. It involves accepting the present moment without rushing or resisting, and understanding that everything unfolds in its own time. Patience is essential for cultivating a peaceful mind and for developing the resilience needed to face the inevitable difficulties that arise in life. At the heart of cultivating patience is the reflection on impermanence. In Buddhism, we are taught that all things, whether they are experiences, emotions, or circumstances, are transient and ever-changing. When we fully understand the impermanent nature of life, we begin to realize that no moment, whether joyful or painful, lasts forever. This understanding allows us to face difficult situations with greater patience, as we know that challenges, like all things, will eventually pass. By reflecting on impermanence, we can soften our attachment to immediate outcomes and develop a greater sense of acceptance, trusting that all things unfold according to their own rhythm. Mindfulness meditation is another key practice for cultivating patience. Through mindfulness, we develop the ability to observe our thoughts, feelings, and reactions without rushing to judgment or becoming swept away by them. This practice helps slow down our tendency to react impulsively, enabling us to pause before responding. When we cultivate mindfulness, we become more aware of our automatic reactions, whether they are frustration, irritation, or impatience, and we can consciously choose how to respond. This ability to slow down and be present in the moment helps us develop greater emotional control and patience in everyday situations. The benefits of cultivating patience are profound and transformative. On a personal level, patience enhances emotional stability by allowing us to remain calm and steady in the face of challenges or delays. Rather than being overwhelmed by frustration or anger when things don't go as planned, patience helps us respond with understanding and tolerance. This emotional stability leads to greater peace of mind, as we no longer feel like we are at the mercy of external circumstances. We become less reactive and more centered, able to navigate life with greater ease and clarity. Patience also supports personal growth by providing the space for deeper reflection and understanding. It allows us to be more forgiving of ourselves and others, recognizing that growth takes time and that mistakes are part of the learning process. When we practice patience, we give ourselves the freedom to grow at our own pace, without the pressure of rushing or comparing ourselves to others. This nurtures a sense of self-compassion and acceptance, which in turn supports our ongoing development and well-being. Furthermore, patience enhances our relationships with others. When we practice patience, we become more understanding and empathetic toward those around us. We are less likely to react with frustration or impatience when others make mistakes or behave in ways we don't understand. Instead, we approach others with kindness, understanding that everyone is on their own journey, just as we are. This attitude fosters stronger, more compassionate relationships and creates a more harmonious environment. Ultimately, cultivating patience is about embracing life's natural rhythms and learning to respond to situations with equanimity and understanding. Through reflection on impermanence and mindfulness meditation, we can develop the ability to endure difficult situations with grace, allowing us to cultivate emotional stability personal growth, and more harmonious relationships. Patience is a powerful practice that nurtures resilience, inner peace, and a deeper sense of connection with ourselves and others, helping us navigate the challenges of life with greater wisdom and composure. Number 7. Let go of ego. In Buddhism, letting go of the ego is a transformative practice that is central to the path of liberation. The ego, or the sense of an individual, separate self, is seen as an illusion that fuels attachment, desire, and suffering. By releasing attachment to the ego, we can reduce the self-centered tendencies that create separation and conflict, opening the door to greater peace, compassion, and connection with others. The core idea behind letting go of the ego is that the sense of self we cling to is not fixed or permanent, but is a collection of thoughts, feelings, and experiences that constantly change. The more we cling to this illusory self, the more we experience suffering. By learning to let go of the ego, we free ourselves from the mental barriers that keep us isolated from the true interconnectedness of all beings. Mindfulness is one of the key practices for dissolving the ego. Through mindfulness, we observe our thoughts, emotions, and reactions without identifying with them. Instead of seeing ourselves as the thoughts we have or the roles we play, mindfulness helps us see them as passing phenomena that do not define who we truly are. This awareness gradually weakens the grip of the ego and allows us to experience a sense of spaciousness and freedom. By becoming more present in the moment and observing our experience without attachment, we begin to shift from a narrow, self-centered view of the world to a broader perspective, where we see ourselves as part of the larger web of life. Compassion is another vital practice for letting go of the ego. When we cultivate genuine compassion for others, we move beyond the self-centered focus on our own desires, needs, and fears. Compassion opens our hearts to the suffering of others, helping us recognize that we are all interconnected and that the well-being of others is just as important as our own. In the practice of compassion, the boundaries of the ego begin to dissolve as we shift our attention from I and me to we and us. Compassion softens the heart and fosters a sense of shared humanity, allowing us to relate to others more deeply and authentically. Meditation, especially practices that focus on insight vipassana and loving kindness metta, also plays a crucial role in letting go of the ego. Insight meditation helps us recognize the impermanent, interdependent nature of all phenomena, revealing the illusory nature of the self. As we observe our thoughts and feelings without attachment, we begin to see that they are temporary and ever-changing, not the fixed self we often assume them to be. Loving kindness meditation, on the other hand, cultivates a heart full of goodwill and compassion toward all beings, breaking down the barriers that the ego constructs between us and others. By sending love and kindness to ourselves, loved ones, strangers, and even those we may have conflicts with, we shift our focus away from the ego's desire to protect and defend, and instead open to the universal truth of interconnectedness. The benefits of letting go of the ego are profound and far-reaching. On a personal level, releasing attachment to the ego leads to greater peace and contentment. Without the constant need to defend or elevate the self, we can experience a deeper sense of inner calm, free from the anxiety, stress, and dissatisfaction that often arise from ego-driven desires. We become less reactive to external events and more able to experience life as it is, without the filters of judgment and expectation that the ego imposes. Letting go of the ego also has a transformative effect on our relationships. When we release our attachment to a fixed sense of self, we stop projecting our insecurities, fears, and desires onto others. This creates more genuine, harmonious connections, where we can truly see others as they are, without the barriers of judgment or comparison. As we dissolve the ego's need to be right or superior, we develop greater empathy, humility, and understanding in our interactions with others. Furthermore, releasing the ego aligns us with the ultimate goal of enlightenment in Buddhism. The path to enlightenment is one of liberation from the cycle of suffering, and the ego is a primary source of that suffering. By letting go of the ego, we move closer to the realization of our true nature, interconnected, impermanent, and free from attachment. This freedom from the ego allows us to experience the world with greater clarity, wisdom, and compassion, and brings us closer to living in accordance with the true nature of reality. Ultimately, letting go of the ego is about recognizing that the self we cling to is not the truth of who we are. Through practices like mindfulness, compassion, and meditation, we can dissolve the illusory boundaries of the ego and experience life from a place of interconnectedness and peace. This release of attachment fosters deeper relationships, greater emotional freedom, and a closer alignment with the path of enlightenment, allowing us to experience life more fully with wisdom, compassion, and equanimity. Number 8, embrace change. In Buddhism, embracing change is seen as a vital practice for developing resilience and navigating the unpredictable nature of life. Change, or impermanence, is one of the core tenets of Buddhist philosophy. The teachings remind us that all things, whether they are our experiences, relationships, or material circumstances, are in a constant state of flux. By accepting that change is an inevitable and natural part of existence, we free ourselves from the suffering that arises from resistance to it. Instead of fearing or fighting change, we learn to adapt, grow, and find peace in the midst of life's transitions. At the heart of embracing change is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us become more aware of the present moment, allowing us to notice when we are resisting change or feeling anxious about the future. By observing our thoughts and reactions with non-judgmental awareness, we can learn to accept change as it comes, without becoming overwhelmed by it. Mindfulness helps us recognize that change is not something to fear, but rather an opportunity for growth and transformation. It enables us to stay grounded in the present, even as we face uncertainty or challenge, fostering adaptability and emotional flexibility. Another key practice for embracing change is developing an understanding of impermanence. In Buddhism, we are encouraged to reflect on the transient nature of all things. Nothing lasts forever, and everything is subject to change. By contemplating impermanence, we begin to loosen our attachment to things as they are, recognizing that clinging to the past or fearing the future only creates suffering. When we accept that all experiences are fleeting, we can appreciate the beauty of each moment without trying to hold onto it. This mindset allows us to approach life with greater equanimity and to let go of expectations, making it easier to navigate transitions and challenges with an open heart. The benefits of embracing change are transformative. First, it encourages personal growth. When we accept that change is a natural part of life, we become more willing to step out of our comfort zones and embrace new experiences. Change brings with it opportunities for learning and development, and by welcoming it with an open mind, we can evolve and adapt to new circumstances. Each change, whether it's a success or a setback, becomes an opportunity to practice patience, resilience, and wisdom, helping us grow in ways that would not be possible if we remain static. Embracing change also reduces anxiety and fear. Much of our suffering comes from our attachment to the way things are and our fear of the unknown. When we learn to embrace change, we release the grip of anxiety that often accompanies uncertainty. Instead of feeling paralyzed by the fear of what might happen, we develop the confidence to face the unknown with calm and clarity. This reduction in fear allows us to live more freely without being constantly preoccupied with what could go wrong. We become more accepting of life's natural rhythms, and the anxiety that arises from trying to control every aspect of our existence begins to dissipate. Additionally, embracing change fosters gratitude for the present moment. When we accept the impermanence of life, we begin to appreciate the fleeting beauty of each experience. Instead of longing for the past or worrying about the future, we learn to savor the present. Each moment becomes precious, as we understand that it will soon pass and can never be recaptured. This sense of appreciation cultivates a deep gratitude for the here and now, helping us to stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Gratitude nurtures joy and contentment, creating a positive mindset that allows us to face life's challenges with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Ultimately, Embracing change is about developing a relationship with life that is flexible, open, and resilient. Through mindfulness and the understanding of impermanence, we learn to accept the ebb and flow of life with grace and equanimity. By letting go of our attachment to fixed outcomes and expectations, we create space for growth, reduce anxiety, and cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude for the present moment. Embracing change helps us navigate the inevitable uncertainties of life with confidence and wisdom, allowing us to live more fully and harmoniously in the face of life's constant transitions. Number 9, develop compassion. In Buddhism, developing compassion is one of the most transformative practices that leads to the cultivation of a peaceful, harmonious life. Compassion, or karuna, is not merely a feeling of sympathy, but an active, empathetic response to the suffering of others, along with a strong desire to alleviate that suffering. It is an essential quality for overcoming the self-centered tendencies of the ego and opening our hearts to the world around us. By practicing compassion, we move beyond our own concerns and extend care, understanding, and support to those who are experiencing pain or hardship. In doing so, we not only alleviate the suffering of others, but also reduce our own suffering, as compassion brings us closer to our shared humanity. A key practice for developing compassion is loving-kindness meditation, or metta-bhavana. This practice involves generating feelings of love and goodwill first toward ourselves, and then expanding that loving kindness to others. The practice begins with focusing on a person or group of people and silently repeating phrases like, "May you be happy," "May you be healthy," or "May you live with ease." The goal of this practice is to cultivate an open heart and a deep sense of care for others, regardless of who they are or what they have done. Through the repetition of these well-wishing phrases, we develop the ability to view others with kindness and understanding, free from judgment or resentment. This loving-kindness practice strengthens our natural capacity for compassion and helps us connect with others in a meaningful way. Another powerful practice for nurturing compassion is Tonglen, a Tibetan Buddhist practice of giving and taking. In this practice, we mentally exchange our own well-being with the suffering of others. As we breathe in, we imagine taking on the pain and suffering of others, absorbing their difficulties and challenges. As we breathe out, we send them love, healing, and peace. Tonglen not only helps us connect more deeply with the suffering of others, but also helps us to transform our own discomfort and fear into compassion. It teaches us that by opening ourselves to the suffering of the world, we can cultivate the strength and wisdom needed to heal and support others, and in doing so, heal ourselves as well. The benefits of developing compassion are profound and wide-ranging. On a personal level, compassion strengthens our relationships with others. When we actively empathize with the suffering of others, we are better able to respond to their needs with patience, kindness, and understanding. This leads to deeper, more fulfilling connections and helps us build trust and intimacy with those around us. By fostering compassion, we are less likely to be judgmental or reactive in our relationships, and more likely to approach others with an open heart and a genuine desire to help. In addition to improving our relationships, compassion reduces personal suffering. When we focus on alleviating the suffering of others, we shift our attention away from our own troubles, worries, and desires. This selflessness helps us detach from the grip of the ego and opens us to a more expansive sense of connection with the world. By acting with compassion, we find that our own suffering diminishes as we experience the joy of making a positive impact in the lives of others. This sense of purpose and fulfillment brings peace to our minds and hearts, reducing the stress and anxiety that often arise from self-centered concerns. On a larger scale, developing compassion fosters social harmony. In a world that is often divided by conflict, misunderstanding, and competition, compassion serves as a unifying force. When we practice compassion, we see beyond superficial differences and recognize the shared humanity that connects us all. Compassion helps us break down the barriers of fear, prejudice, and hostility, creating an environment of mutual respect and cooperation. By nurturing compassion in ourselves and encouraging it in others, we contribute to a more peaceful and just society where people work together for the common good. Ultimately, developing compassion is a powerful way to transform our lives and the world around us. Through practices like loving-kindness meditation and Tonglen, we actively cultivate an open heart and a deep desire to alleviate the suffering of others. Compassion strengthens our relationships, reduces our own suffering, and creates a sense of shared humanity that fosters social harmony. As we embrace compassion, we experience greater joy, peace, and connection, and we align ourselves with the fundamental teachings of Buddhism, that the path to true happiness lies in selflessness, kindness, and the alleviation of suffering. Number 10, practice self-reflection. In Buddhism, self-reflection is considered a key practice for personal growth and spiritual development. It involves the conscious process of turning inward to examine our thoughts, emotions, actions, and motivations with clarity and honesty. Through self-reflection, we come to understand our patterns of behavior, the underlying causes of our suffering, and the ways in which we can cultivate wisdom and compassion in our daily lives. This practice allows us to develop a deeper awareness of ourselves and the world around us, helping us to make more mindful choices and live in alignment with our highest values. Self-reflection is intimately connected with the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness encourages us to be fully present with our thoughts and experiences, noticing them without attachment or judgment. By practicing mindfulness, we can observe our habitual reactions and mental patterns and gain insight into how they influence our actions. Self-reflection deepens this awareness by providing us with the space to pause and thoughtfully examine our experiences. This might involve reflecting on how we responded to a particular situation, what emotions arose within us, and whether our actions were in harmony with our intentions. With this kind of mindful attention, we can begin to uncover the root causes of our suffering and identify areas where we might need to grow or change. Journaling is another effective practice for self-reflection in Buddhism. Writing about our thoughts and feelings allows us to externalize our inner world, helping us gain clarity and insight into our subconscious patterns. Journaling can help us track our progress on the spiritual path, reflect on moments of difficulty or growth, and identify recurring challenges that need attention. By regularly engaging in this practice, we create a space for self-inquiry that can lead to deep personal transformation. It also provides a way to track our emotional and mental states over time, giving us a broader perspective on our journey and helping us make more intentional choices. The benefits of practicing self-reflection are profound. On a personal level, it increases self-awareness, which is essential for breaking free from unhelpful habits and thought patterns. By becoming more conscious of our motivations and reactions, we can make decisions that are more aligned with our values, leading to a life that is more authentic and meaningful. Self-awareness also helps us recognize areas of growth, such as negative thought patterns, emotional triggers, or unhealthy attachments, giving us the opportunity to address these issues with compassion and mindfulness. Self-reflection also reduces suffering by helping us understand the nature of our thoughts and emotions. When we become more aware of our inner world, we can begin to see that our negative emotions, such as anger, jealousy, or fear, are often driven by misunderstanding, attachment, or fear of impermanence. Self-reflection allows us to untangle these emotions and see them for what they truly are: temporary, fleeting experiences that do not define who we are. By gaining this insight, we can learn to let go of harmful patterns and respond to situations with greater equanimity and compassion. Additionally, self-reflection improves our decision-making. As we become more aware of our mental and emotional states, we develop the ability to pause and reflect before reacting. This space between stimulus and response allows us to make more thoughtful, intentional decisions rather than acting impulsively or out of habit. Self-reflection also helps us recognize when we are acting in ways that are inconsistent with our values, providing an opportunity to realign our actions with our deeper intentions. This leads to greater clarity of purpose and direction in life. Another significant benefit of self-reflection is its impact on our relationships. By reflecting on our interactions with others, we can become more mindful of how our words and actions affect those around us. Self-reflection encourages us to take responsibility for our behavior and to recognize when we have caused harm or misunderstandings. It also helps us cultivate greater empathy as we become more aware of the emotions and needs of others. This deeper understanding strengthens our relationships, fosters forgiveness, and encourages more harmonious interactions. Ultimately, practicing self-reflection is a powerful tool for personal and spiritual growth. It allows us to examine our thoughts and behaviors with honesty, leading to increased self-awareness, emotional freedom, and deeper insight. By engaging in practices such as mindfulness and journaling, we gain the tools to navigate life with greater wisdom and compassion. Self-reflection not only helps us reduce suffering and make better decisions, but it also fosters a greater sense of connection to ourselves and others. Through this practice, we move closer to understanding the true nature of reality and align ourselves with the path of wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. Buddhist teachings provide a deep and insightful roadmap for navigating the complexities of life with grace, wisdom, and compassion. These teachings are more than just spiritual doctrines. They offer a practical and profound guide for living harmoniously with ourselves, others, and the world around us. At the heart of Buddhism lies a commitment to personal growth and the cultivation of virtues that promote inner peace, understanding, and interconnectedness. By embracing practices such as forgiveness, mindfulness, generosity, and compassion, individuals can foster a sense of calm and clarity, transforming both their own lives and their relationships with others. Forgiveness, one of the core tenets of Buddhist practice, plays a critical role in healing emotional wounds and releasing the burdens of anger, resentment, and pain. Buddhism teaches that holding on to grudges or harboring negative emotions only perpetuates suffering, not just for the person we may feel wronged by, but also for ourselves. Through the practice of forgiveness, we learn to let go of the past and free ourselves from the chains of bitterness, allowing us to move forward with an open heart and mind. This is not an act of condoning harmful behavior, but rather a recognition that forgiveness is a means of releasing ourselves from the cycles of suffering, offering us the freedom to live more fully in the present moment. Mindfulness, a cornerstone of Buddhist practice, is a powerful tool for cultivating awareness and presence in every moment. By practicing mindfulness, we become more attuned to our thoughts, emotions, and actions, gaining the ability to respond to life's challenges with greater clarity and wisdom, rather than reacting impulsively or mindlessly. This practice fosters a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, encouraging us to live with greater intention, purpose, and awareness. Whether through formal meditation or informal everyday mindfulness, the goal is to bring full attention to whatever we are doing, whether it's breathing, eating, walking, or engaging in conversation, so that we can experience life with a heightened sense of presence and appreciation. Generosity, or dana, is another foundational practice in Buddhism, emphasizing the importance of selfless giving and compassion. It is not just about material gifts, but extends to giving our time, energy, kindness, and attention to others. Generosity fosters a sense of interconnectedness and belonging, reinforcing the idea that our happiness is intertwined with the well-being of others. In a world where individualism and material accumulation often dominate, Buddhist generosity encourages us to focus on what truly matters, building meaningful relationships, sharing what we have, and contributing to the greater good of society. Living with intention, balance, and humility is a key aspect of Buddhist teachings, guiding us to align ourselves with the impermanent and interconnected nature of existence. Buddhism reminds us that nothing in life is fixed or permanent. Our thoughts, emotions, circumstances, and even our very bodies are constantly changing. By embracing the fluidity of life and practicing detachment, we can find freedom from the stress and anxiety that often accompany our attachment to things that are transient. This understanding encourages us to live with greater humility, acknowledging that we are part of a much larger whole, and to approach life with a sense of openness and acceptance, rather than clinging to preconceived notions or desires. The transformative power of these teachings, lies not only in their ability to foster personal growth, but also in their potential to create a more compassionate and harmonious world. When individuals practice forgiveness, mindfulness, generosity, and humility, they contribute to a collective shift toward greater empathy, understanding, and cooperation. In this way, the wisdom of Buddhism transcends individual benefit and extends to the well-being of the broader community, inviting us to become compassionate stewards of our planet and its inhabitants. As we incorporate these timeless insights into our daily lives, we unlock the potential for greater understanding, resilience, and joy. Each step taken with mindfulness and compassion brings us closer to living a life of purpose, fulfillment, and wisdom. The practice of Buddhism provides us with the tools to meet life's challenges with equanimity, whether we are facing adversity, loss, or change, and to do so with a sense of balance and inner peace. This allows us to weather the inevitable ups and downs of life with grace, cultivating a deeper sense of gratitude and a more profound connection to the world around us. In conclusion, Buddhist teachings offer a rich and transformative path that encourages individuals to live with intention, compassion, and mindfulness. By applying these principles, we can cultivate a life filled with peace, purpose, and fulfillment, while also contributing to the creation of a more compassionate, harmonious world. As we continue on this journey, may we remember that each moment is an opportunity to practice mindfulness, to offer kindness, and to live with a sense of awareness and understanding. See you in the next video,